Hi guys, hope you're okay. Right, so today I'm going to do a little bit more on the climate and that Extinction Rebellion nonsense. So basically the last video I did was about CO2, and the little things I added underneath that I kept forgetting to write is that CO2, apart from being the gas of life, CO2 saves lives. So for example, people live longer in the forest, not because there's more oxygen. That's a complete lie. The oxygen basically is always about 19-20% of the air, and the nitrogen should be about 79%, and 1% should be negligible gases, of which one is CO2, but it should be a lot more than that. Basically, obviously, we need definitely reduce carbon monoxide. In some countries, in England, we're fine, and introduce more carbon dioxide, CO2, instead of CO, which is carbon monoxide. People live longer in the mountains as well, because there's more CO2, not more oxygen. That's complete nonsense. It's in the name. Oxygen oxidizes your cells, which is why you should not be under an oxygen mask for too long. Otherwise, it's going to really mess your lungs up and it's going to start burning you, which is what killed my mom, the oxygen mask. Okay, so so that's what I was going to say about CO2. Oh, yeah, because I used to work in a gym which is still there in London, called the Third Space, the original one in Soho, I think it was Sherwood Street. There's an hypoxic chamber there, and they've raised the altitude as though you were about 3,000 meters high. Therefore, there's less oxygen, more CO2. That's why you get carbonated drinks as well, because it helps the recovery, so to recover quicker from injuries. So this is why people go to hypoxic chambers where there is more CO2 and less oxygen. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about the coronavirus. I haven't really researched it because it's not something you really need to research. It's so fucking obvious. A lot of it is just scaremongering, but it is true that it's man-made, and it was definitely made in a lab, most probably in China, and it escaped, so it's man-made. Of course, Israel has already got some vaccines ready for it, so they want to try and vaccinate everybody with absolute fucking poison. So this year, man, we need to fucking raise this, like, fuck, we need, literally, Israel needs to go. If Israel carries on, we will fucked. There is a program called the Greater Israel program, or the Talpiot program. Talpiot is also Talpiot in the Talmud, so it's all related. They want Greater Israel. They basically want to rule the world satanically, with complete fucking chaos, and at the same time they've been based on hundreds and thousands, well, millions of souls, which call themselves Jews, which basically know nothing about what the cult is really about. If they knew, they would completely drop that Jewish name, because it's complete fucking nonsense. There is no Jewish race, okay? So we're all mongrels, basically, you know, like there's only 4 root races: white, black, yellow, and red. Everything else is mongrel, okay? And how many of us are pure? Anyway, it's not about race, it's about ideology. The Judaism's ideology is absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. I mean, if you think, you know, the Quran is actually beautiful. It's the Hadith, which came later, which is disgusting, which Muslims have. But then again, it came from the crypto Jews who converted to Judaism anyway, just as they converted to Christianity, Catholicism, which is what Catholicism is sick, satanic as well. They've literally infiltrated. The Satanists have infiltrated every religion. When they infiltrated what we know as Judaism, it wasn't Judaism, because the Old Testament has nothing to do with Judaism whatsoever. The Talmud has. If you look and if you study the Bible properly, you will see that the first Hebrew was way down the line from Adam, which is apparently the man we all come from, and the first Hebrew was Eber. Okay, still not called a Jew. The first Jew was far way down the line, apparently from Jacob's 12 sons, of which one was chosen, called Joseph. He's the one that Israel or Jacob decided to bless, and apparently Joseph had his brother, Judas had his brother Joseph captured and given as a slave to the Egyptians, because he was jealous that he wasn't chosen by his father to be the blessed one. Of course, this is all, none of it is historical, all of it is allegorical, but this is a problem. People read it as if it was true, right, on top of that. So that makes things even worse, right? Israel is Isis, Ra, and El, the 3 names of God. There is the Holy Trinity, basically, and so we're all the 12 tribes of Israel. And the first Jew would have been Judah, okay, which is way down the line, right at the end of the Bible. So there's nothing Jewish about the Bible. It's complete nonsense. Moses was a Hebrew, but he wasn't Jewish. There's a lot of nonsense that was added as well. But I got quite a few Bibles and I've researched it a lot extensively. So, okay, but people have to know how to read it, because not only is it allegorical as a book, there's very little history. It's mainly allegorical. And the Old Testament is a book of health, how to raise your Kundalini, and the New Testament is a book on how to keep healthy. And it's all about the retention of the seed. Circumcision, for example, never ever meant to cut your dick off, right? What circumcision means is actually to curb your desire. So it has nothing to do with cutting the skin off or whatever. All this was misinterpreted, and unfortunately it's bred a lot of psychopathy in this world, which is very well alive today. So circumcision needs to stop. Jews who know nothing, who think, oh, why is there so much anti-Semitism? Well, maybe you should research what your tribe has been doing and stop protecting it, because it's not about protecting anything that's evil. You only protect what's good. And, I'm French, and if the French did the evil, which, well, when I say French, is obviously, so it's not like in the past where French were French. Now a lot of Muslims live there, a lot of Jews live there, so there's not really, let's say like a Christian value French, like I am. I'm not a Christian, but I have Christian values. If my French tribe, did something wrong, I'd be the first one to expose them and not stick with them. It's about the good, sticking with the good people, and to expose the rest and try and stop it. And when I say good, I don't believe in good and bad either. I think it's all about balance, because, for example, if you're about to defend a child that's about to be adopted, and during the struggle by defending the child, the opponent loses his life, it's tough shit, it's his fault, because you protected the innocent. So there is a time where we are allowed to use violence and even kill if it's to protect the innocent, like the children, the babies, and life itself. Okay, at this point we have the right to do that. Yes, it's not about this new age. Oh, it all has to be beautiful. Never mind if it's a lie. This is the problem with the new age. They want only positivity. It has to be positive. It doesn't matter if it's a lie. It has to be positive. It's all fucking bullshit. And the Satanists want everything to be negative. They don't want any positivity. There is no balance. It's a checkboard, the black and the white, which is exactly what the Freemason, which is Judaic at the very core, want. They want a separation between black and white. This is how they exist, because the black and the white counteract each other. But you don't have to be black or white. You can be centered, which means it's all about love. You always obviously have do what I say, for lack of a better word, for good. You do right in the world, but if it comes to it, if you have to use some force which might kill someone in self-defense or defense of the innocence, you have the perfect right to do that. You don't have to, but you have the perfect right to do that. So it's about balance. There is, in my life, there is no positive or negative. There is just what is, and what is about the truth. Okay, the truth is what matters, not the positive, not having positivity or negativity. The truth, and the truth is always just what it is. And once you know what the truth is, then you can work around it and try and change it if you don't like it. But unless you know the truth, you will never be able to change it. Okay. So that's all I have to say for today. Yeah, for today, that's all I have to say. And I'll see you soon with another one, probably on WW2 again. Lots of love. Bye.